There it is. 1, 2, 3, testing, testing. All right, let's talk about batteries. Let's talk about the questions that we get about batteries. All right, let's look at the next question. B.A. He's not asking, he's mostly stating. Cell level fuses have to be selected and tested scientifically, or you risk fire, death, and or injury through negligence. It's not to scare anyone, that's just dealing with reality. Okay, here, this is one of these guys, right? Input parameters, wire composition, wire will have to blend with other materials with some impurities, length of fuse in millimeters, wire diameter in millimeters, measure variables, resistance, milliohms, temperature at nominal load, temperature at maximum rated load, maximum current until breaking, approximate breaking time, maximum current too high and it will protect itself using batteries for fusible links. Yeah, so if your fuse is too big, you know, like the fuse has to be the weak link in the system. That's the thing that should go out first. But it shouldn't go out first. It shouldn't go out while under normal use. So the breaking point should be somewhere above normal use and then failure, right? So somewhere in between there, you can play with like getting closer to normal use, or you can play closer to, but let's continue with this statement here. This may leave you with a small or non-existent current range for a given material and may require selecting another material. Note, dissimilar metals have the potential to exhibit galvanic corrosion. The hotter a metal wire gets, the greater its resistance and the less current will be available to the load because it will be dissipated as heat in the wire. Furthermore, resistance of a wire is linearly proportional to its length. For these reasons, optimize fusible links to be as short as possible while avoiding arcs. It's possible to engineer a cheap, low resistance, safe fusible link, but takes time and testing to do it right. It works once right now, isn't scientific or safe. Yes. Okay, how do I answer that? Yes, he's correct. Yeah, you can spend your time looking for the perfect fusible link for your application. The problem with that, of course, is that, well, I'm not a scientist, and that I would have to go and take some courses in college to learn some of the fundamentals that will allow me to do this thing. I will have to, experiment for a long time. And then maybe by the time that I'm done, well, maybe I'm like in my 90s, And so if you're not quick to pick this stuff up, if you want to become an expert in the subject, yeah, you can dig in and dive in there and test all the metals you want. I mean, you can dig as deep as you want. The problem that I have with these types of comments and these types of people is that although he's not saying that you can't do it the way I'm doing it, he's insinuating that, right? He's saying that by me saying it works once right now, it isn't scientific and it's negligent. And so I don't really think so. I think you have to be practical. He talks about dealing with reality. And reality is that we don't need the perfect fuse. We just need to better our odds that there's going to be no fire in a very unlikely event that one of these cells goes bad. And so the way you do that is you just need a cable that doesn't get hot while running a normal operation at the normal levels, right? But you want it to get hot and actually burn up somewhere above normal operation and then, battery fire. So you figure where battery fire is and where normal operation, and then you choose where you want your cell fuse to fail on there, right? That's the level where you can do it. And so it's really up to you. You can test a bunch of things. You can test for, to see if it's accurate, to see If it's repeatable, you can check to see like what the variance is between one resistor to the next. There's gonna be a variable resistance because these are not really designed to be blown. They're actually designed to carry a load. Somewhere around 2-3 amps, I think it's perfectly good. The cable's not gonna get too hot, and it's not gonna waste too much energy in the form of heat, but it is gonna burn up somewhere around 6 amps. 6, 5, 7, 8, 10. Does it really matter to me? No, not really. Again, it's just to lower the odds of fire in the event of a failure, of a cell, failing and stuff. And so, go ahead. If you're this kind of guy that must find the perfect fuse, go ahead. Follow his things. Search, become an expert in the subject, and then find your fuse and then build it. Not everyone operates this way, okay? There's no one way to do this thing. You could also just choose something that it's okay, a piggyback of someone else's research, like I know this cable can carry a load safely because it's made in an electronic device that it's supposed to carry, a couple of amps. And so I know that it burns up after somewhere around 5 amps, mine was blowing. I did a couple of them. They blew up around 6 amps. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for my application. Is there a better way to do it? Is there a better material that I can use and wire that I can use as a fuse? Yes, there is. Do I need it to be better than this? No, I have decided that this is good enough. I know you disagree. This guy B and A disagrees, maybe. You're allowed to disagree. I'm putting out there the information that I'm finding out. You can take it or leave it. I'm not saying this is how you have to do it. I'm saying this is how I would do it. This is how I'm going to do it. If you want to try it this way, go ahead. And so, yeah, that's all I pretty much have to say. You can do it that way or you can do it my way. It's up to you. It just depends how much risk you want to take. The things that I'm doing, I have decided that the risk, the level of risk that I am accepting, it's acceptable. It's like hopping inside a car and going to the grocery store. Is there some level of risk for that? Yes, there is. Some drunk driver can come and hit you. You can do a bunch of things to try to better the odds in your favor of surviving an accident, like putting airbags and doing this thing, driving carefully, stuff. But there is certain amount of risk that it's completely out of your hand. You can't control someone else coming and hitting you because they're drunk, right? The only thing you can do is maybe not drive during hours where there's a lot of people are likely to be drunk, right? But you cannot protect yourself because someone can be drunk at any time of the day, and they can hit and impact your car and crash into it, and you might survive or you maybe not. And so there's a level of risk that you have to take every time you jump in your car. Yet we all accept that. And so it's the same thing with this. There's a level of risk playing around with batteries, putting them in there. There's a level of risk running high lethal levels of high voltage into our homes, right? There are safety measures that are put in place that could fail. But electrical fires happen all the time and they burn houses. And so by using electricity in our houses, we're accepting a level of risk that is there, and that some of it you can have some control over it, but not 100%. And so you kind of have to take that into consideration when you're dealing with this. And so sometimes people see things black and white, and I see B&A might be one of those people, and he's simply stating, he's not saying that I'm doing it wrong, but he's kind of insinuating. And so he's right. He's got every right to think that I'm wrong, but I have every right to think that I'm right. And so we're just exercising our rights. All right, convention center, let's do this. All right, right, here's the interesting stuff. We got our badges. I registered. Misa did not register. But someone registered.
Check it out.
An account that's called Samba Garcia. Yeah. Who did that? I don't know. But it had most of our information correct.
Was it one of you viewers?